What's up, everybody? Welcome back to That Game Show. My name's AJ Gills. How y'all doing? We are back with The Last of Us Part 2 and another flashback. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this, that there's so many of these flashbacks, there's... Modern day flashback, modern day flashback, modern day flashback, just, I guess not modern day, present day, but, I don't hate the idea, it's just... I feel like we're getting into the overused portion of this, you know what I mean? I get it, we're kind of getting into the how much of all this did Ellie know? See, it's the growth has clearly mutated. Let's see the test results correlate our theory. This is big. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. This is interesting, important to the story and all that. It's just, I feel like we could have told this in a better way or fit these flashbacks in better places than just, like, in between chapters and basically using them as chapter breaks. I mean, hell, and also, using Joel like this, I think it almost would have worked better to use him like the Joker in Arkham Knight. Have him be hallucinations. Have him kind of pop up to kind of be Ellie's moral compass in a way. Interesting, they clean up the bodies.
Most people have left already. I don't know which group I'm gonna join. I was one of the ones that wanted to go after the smuggler and the girl.
This Abby?
Even if we found her or by some miracle found someone else that's immune, it'd make no difference. Because the only person who could develop a vaccine is dead. Or by some miracle found someone else that's immune, it'd make no difference. Or found someone else that's immune, it'd make no difference. Because the only person...
Ellie! Come here. What the hell are you thinking? Running off in the middle of the night like that. You talk to me. You don't just leave me a goddamn note.
Tell me what happened here. If you lie to me one more time, I'm gone. You will never see me again. But if you tell me the truth, I'll go back to Jackson. No matter what it is. Just say it. Joel.
taking a vaccine would have killed you. So I stopped them.
Oh my God.
Okay, so she knew. Okay, so
Fucking touch me. I'll go back. But we're done.
okay, so she knew. So this explains why everybody was saying that her and Joel had been kind of on the outs, which I just kind of expressed, it's a teenager trying to express independence or whatever. Although I guess it also doesn't make sense that that was 2 years before, current events. So what? They've been fighting with each other for like 2 years. That's just kind of, I don't know.
Dina? Jesse? The more the merrier. Hey, look, Joel. It's your favorite.
So are we also going to see them sort of make up and get... I don't know, man. I almost feel like... Look, if you wanted to do a flashback of them at the museum, that was cool. But that moment right there, that should have been one of the opening moments of the game, if you ask me. If you ask me. Which then you cut a little bit more into the future. Then you see Ellie, at the dance with Dina. And, we get a little bit more context for some of the events in order. Instead of just dropping this big piece of information at this point in the game. Because it doesn't make sense to give us this piece of information right now. Because it doesn't change anything. In fact, it explains... Ellie should have been able to figure out who these WLF guys were almost immediately. I mean, hell, it's like I said, I was curious as to why these guys were hunting down Joel. I thought it was pretty obvious. I mean, that they were Firefly leftovers. Like I said, I was calling that one from the very freaking beginning. But I guess it would have been obvious, but at the same time... I kind of think it was obvious, but, Ellie's like, oh, well, were they, was it, somebody from Joel's past? But you already knew he went in and fucked up the Fireflies like that. Of course they'd be looking for him. I don't know. I'm not going to say that there was a better time to give us this information. It just seems like it's either A, don't go into it, or B... I don't know. I think to tell us that she knew, it would have made more sense to put far earlier in the game. That's just me, though. So whatever.
She had a rough night. Barely could get her to keep water down.
You should have woken me up.
Is she pregnant?
Yeah.
We're kind of just assuming that. It's not like she's, had a test or whatever.
We gotta take her back. She needs real care, and she's not gonna get that.
Yeah, I know. I can't just leave Tommy. He's out here because of me. Maybe you could take her back.
She's not gonna leave without you. Screw it. Let's get Tommy. This aquarium that girl told you about. Tommy hasn't found Abby yet. We'll post up there until he does.
And you're good with leaving Dina by herself?
Her orders.
Okay. Let's go tell her we're leaving then.
I'll just meet you up front.
Yeah. Hi. Hey, babe. I need you to lock the door for us. Okay.
Let's do it. Your map showed the aquarium along the shore. Should be down this way.
Yeah. How does anyone stay dry in this city?
All right, guys, I'm going to be honest. I got to call this one here. I know this is super short, we're only like 10 minutes in, but my screen keeps cutting to black or something. That usually I think means my capture card's overheating or something. I got to either give it a rest or unplug everything and replug it back in. I don't know what's going on. All right, but I just some final thoughts on this. Like I said, I think that reveal could have been done so much better, or just put in a better place than when it did. It's like I said, I think the whole reveal that Abby and all of them are Fireflies, duh. I thought that was fairly obvious right from the start. Yeah, I get it. If Ellie didn't know, I think it would make sense for her to question that, oh, maybe it was somebody else from Joel's past, and through the progress of this, she finds out that Joel lied to her, and then, you know, is it really worth getting the revenge for him? Does she still love him despite all of this stuff? I think that would have been so much better if she just knew all ahead of time. That's just kind of lazy, in my opinion, but what the hell ever. It makes that with, again, the fact that we don't see them reconcile, or we're going to have to wait a little bit to see that flashback, because, again, she left him with almost pure hate in that scene, but from what everybody was talking about, and for 2 years, she's been feuding with him over this, but everybody else is just like, why have you seemed very kind of cold to Joel? Why you seem like there's a problem between you two? No, it seems like there's a lot more than a problem. So is everyone either just blind, or were they keeping up some semblance of an appearance? I just don't know. There are too many unanswered questions, and just piecemealing it out through flashbacks. Despite how good the flashbacks are, I don't think that this is the right information to be delving out. I think that they should be better memories of her and Joel together. In kind of giving her some hope or some happiness through this dark journey. And again, we see her talking to him, you know, it's all about Tina's pregnant. Oh, we can't do all our the revenge isn't important. You know, hell, she isn't even bringing up the whole concept of revenge. It's the fact that Tommy's out here. It's what I said earlier, or a few parts ago. It is giving her an out to not be a bad person, or to delve into a revenge. She's out here to find Tommy. Oh, that's what we're doing. We're finding Tommy. We aren't out here to kill a bitch. And I've got an issue with that, because I think it would have been, again, just much more of a compelling emotional story to focus on the revenge. Instead, it feels very clinical, which just is kind of depressing. There was one other thing I wanted to bring up. Yeah, I know I brought up the fact that is Dina really pregnant? I mean, it's not like she's had a test, taken a test or anything. Although I guess with how late she was and everything, yeah, I guess it makes more sense. Whatever. I'm a guy. What the fuck do I know? But we also act like, was there a guarantee of the vaccine in the first game? I mean, isn't it entirely possible that they kill Ellie, cut open her head, and take out her brain for all the mushrooms or whatever that was grown in there, and they find out they couldn't make a vaccine? Was that entirely possible? Because I thought that was entirely possible. I mean, it was a chance for a vaccine, not a guarantee. Or was I, or am I reading something into that? Am I reading into the game what wasn't there? I don't know. I'm very curious about that. So, look, if you got through this rant, thank you. Like I said, I'm sorry that I'm closing out a little early. It's like I said, even while I've been sitting here talking, my screen's kind of cut in and out. You guys, oddly enough, you guys don't notice it because the software still records the game, but it's really distracting, and especially when we get into combat and everything, when everything's just going in and out, it's very hard to play. So, before we get into one of those, I'm going to close. So thanks for watching. Social media is in the description as always. Like, comment, not already. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. More next time. Until then, my name's AJ Gills. This is the Game Channel. I'm out.